Maybe like 3 to 5 minutes each.
3 to 5 minutes each. So that's around 15 minutes in total?
Yeah, yeah 10 to 15 minutes.
10 to 15, okay. Ceiling calendar?
Well, if we can get to it, maybe just like 5 minutes, and then we can prioritize it if people want to prioritize it more.
Okay.
Be part of our goals.
Okay. And then new session policies?
Ooh, this could take a little longer, maybe like 10 to 15 minutes, 10 to 20 minutes, I don't know.
Okay. A master document updater. I think this is just a reminder. Or probably a how-to.
Are you sure that we don't want to do that first? Oh, no, I guess that can happen at the end. That's fine.
Yeah.
First? Oh, no.
Jay?
Yeah?
Yeah. You saying something?
Nope.
Okay, so master document updating. 3 to 5 minutes probably. And then reviewing work reports, guys. Asif, how much time do you need for this? Asif, are you still there? Yeah. It depends on reviewing. Okay. 5 to 10. Okay, thanks, Asif. Right. Okay, so probably we can proceed now. If there's nothing more that you'd like to add. All right, so voting for team identity Phoenix, that would be our first topic. So basically, just to make it formal, the AustrAsia team is proposing to have its team identity as Phoenix. So we chose Phoenix because it's common symbol for strength and also about setting our targets high and aiming higher every time. Yeah. So it's basically, yeah, Jay?
Oh, finish writing the meaning, that's fine.
Yeah, meaning. So, yeah, soaring higher and stronger. So basically. Maybe we know the other teams, for example, like meaning for choosing theirs. For example, Cobalt is.
I don't know. I mean, there's different reasons for different names, but just to go back to the vote. So you want to clearly state what the proposal is, and I want to make it really, really clear that your team identity is much, much, much more than your name.
Okay, so the proposal is
can anyone mention like one thing of how identity is more than just your name?
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
Can anyone think of one context of how a team identity can be more than just your name?
The way we process it is like the team identity is also kind of your goal and the common value that your team should like embody.
Exactly.
So for example, Fulcrum during the Central Asia recruitment session yesterday, they told us that their meaning is supporting one another. Yeah, so basically it describes and sort of gives us a description of how they see themselves as one team. They exist to support the other teams also, not beyond beyond the individuals in their own teams.
Yeah,
so
but that can still be much more than just the meaning of the name. Like you can have a whole purpose statement, a mission statement, you know, a set of goals, like, you know, your own budget. Like you can create your entire own team identity, and your name is just one component of that, and your value systems, all of that. It's like it can be much more. It's infinite, right? Your team identity.
Yeah.
So yeah, just the name is just one component of that. Cool. Check.
All right. So do we have to set all of those now? The mission statement, set goals?
No. I mean, you guys don't even have to do that at all. But I'm just trying to point out that your team identity is not just the name. You guys were implying that your entire team identity was Phoenix, and that's just not correct. That's just the name of your team. And you give a little meaning of your team, but it doesn't have to. The only thing you're required to do for your team identity is like have, you know, an email, you know, communication systems for your team, and have like the basic way your team functions. But other than that, like your team name is the most important thing. But yeah, check.
So can we move to the proposal now? Approve AustrAsia's team identity as Phoenix. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm definitely going to vote no on that proposal because I just explained the whole thing, but it's fine. You guys can do whatever you want to. I'll vote no.
Oh, so we have to like determine first the mission statements, of goals, value systems before we can actually proceed to approving the name?
No, you're just approving your team identity as Phoenix. I just don't agree. I wouldn't agree to that proposal because it's not clear. It's not a name. You're saying that your entire mission statement, set of goals, value systems, everything that you're functioning, your budget, the whole thing, all is your team is Phoenix. It doesn't make any sense.
Oh, I can see that Joyce is not here anymore. All right.
Did you guys just hear what I just said? What did I just say?
Yeah. Jay?
What did I just say?
Oh, you said that we have to define our mission statement, set of goals.
No, that's not exact. That's not at all what I said. That's actually not what I said at all. I said the opposite of that. But what did I actually say? Like, what was the whole point of what I said before? Okay, I'm going to try to say it again. You guys are stating that your team identity is Phoenix. That is not a correct statement. It doesn't make any sense. Like, your team identity is so much more than a name. It is everything that relates to what your team is, and your email and your communication systems and how you function as a team, and your budget and your goals and your value systems and your mission statement and your purpose and your everything. It goes on and on and on and on and on. That's what builds the identity of your team. It's so much more than just the name, right? So proposing your team name is just the team name. It's not, you can't just propose in a single name your entire team identity. It doesn't make any sense. Does anyone want to try to explain that in your own words? But anyways, you guys can do whatever you guys want to do and vote on it. I'll just vote no. It's perfectly fine, but I'm just making it clear that it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Can anyone repeat what I just said in your own words?
everyone try? Yeah. As you've said, different components like name, mission, goals, it brings a team identity.
Hello, sorry, I'm trying to come again, but only now I was at work.
There you go.
Hello, can you hear me?
So it's like,
There you go.
yeah, we can.
Okay.
I think time is up on the topic. It's almost up.
Okay.
It's already up.
So that makes a lot more sense, and I would vote yes on that. You see how different that is?
Yeah, so a team name is different from a team identity.
Exactly.
Yeah, so for the proposal, so it's wrong to say that the proposal to approve AustrAsia's team as Phoenix should be team name as Phoenix, correct?
That's perfect. I would vote yes on that. Of course. And the only other discrepancies is technically the first AustrAsia team. You can have many, many more AustrAsia teams. This is just the first one. And do you guys specifically want it all capitals?
Mm-hmm.
You guys specifically want your team name as all capitals, which is fine, but that's how you're writing it. Like those kind of minor details are important in the bigger scheme of
Thanks, Jake.
things.
It's clearer. Most also confuses the two. Yeah. So, shall we proceed to a vote?
Okay, I just want to confirm that you guys are specifically proposing your name as all caps, you know, because in the bigger scheme of things, that's actually important, right? So as long as you guys are doing that intentionally, it makes perfect sense. It's perfectly fine. But I just want to note that this would state that your guys' name is technically only written as all caps.
So for me, Eileen, Joyce, Benji, and all the others can also give a suggestion. For me, I would want to change it to not all caps. Just capitalize like the first. Because if we do it like all caps, it would seem like it has a meaning attached to each other. That's just how I perceive it. So what do you think? Eileen?
As of 27th, Saturday holidays.
Guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, Benji?
Okay, I have a question.
Okay, sorry, Eileen. Eileen, would you like to type that in if you're having a bad connection? Yeah.
I have a question. Where did the
Eileen, please type it in if you're having a bad connection. Benji? Yeah. Benji?
I don't have idea. I'm something
Sorry?
I am you repeat what is your proposal?
Benji, can you say it again?
I am thinking for now. I'm thinking.
Joyce, what do you think? Guys, this is a team name, not just my name for the team. So if you can
Hello,
give
sorry.
suggestions, yeah.
Bad connection.
Joyce,
Sorry,
Yeah, it's
about
okay.
connection. But about the name, it's okay. Phoenix, I go for yes.
yeah, okay.
Actually, what is your proposal?
Did someone just vote yes?
Joyce is okay with fixing the team name to not all caps.
Oh, she just
And then-
voting for the amendment. Okay.
Yeah, and then
Yes.
Benji, to clarify, the proposal is, well, we're still fixing what the proposal is.
Yes. I think it's yes.
Yeah, instead of an all caps, the AustrAsia team name is Phoenix with just the P as the caps. Yeah, that's the. Yeah, we're still not voting yet, guys. Okay. Yeah, we're still fixing to finalize, and then we'll vote. Okay, so if everyone is already okay with this proposal to approve first AustrAsia team's name as Phoenix, not all caps, then we can probably vote. All right?
So you're asking us also, we have idea for other, we have other names, right?
I think Benji just asked if you guys had brainstormed other possible names before you finalized on Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
Sige na.
Again, I think the question from Benji was whether or not you brainstormed other possible names when you guys chose the name Phoenix. That's a question from Benji.
Oh, Benji, you're asking the other options instead of Phoenix?
No, I'm just confirming if you're asking us, asking for other names.
Oh, if you have any other suggestions, you can say it.
Okay.
How we chose the Phoenix is like it was just during the body team session, and then propose if they have any, but this is just an initiated proposal to name it as Phoenix. But if you have other suggestions, we can consider it. Sorry, Benji. What is it?
For me, Phoenix. Okay.
Phoenix is okay with you. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thanks. Okay. Should we put this to a vote now?
How about you guys?
We can vote now. Okay. Hi, Jay. Want to inform me about? Okay, Jay. Would you like to vote?
Yes, I'm a yes. Yes, I'm a yes. I vote yes.
Yeah. You vote yes. Okay. Asif? It's a yes. Asif is a yes. Benji? Benji? Vote your vote?
Yes.
Okay. Joseph?
Mine is just two.
Yes, too. All right, thanks, guys. So it's unanimous. Okay, so AustrAsia team will be using the name Phoenix as its team name.
Yeah, that's very exciting. I think now we have 5 team names. Fulcrum, Cobalt, Andromeda, Sonic, and Phoenix.
Zuri. Yeah. All right. So Eileen has a question. Where did the Austrasian name come from? So I think AustrAsia is just a name of a region. So that's why it's a regional name. Australia and East Asia. If that's correct, Jay. Yeah.
Oh, AustrAsia?
And
AustrAsia is just the region of the world that overlaps between Asia and Australia.
okay. Thanks, guys. So we can now move on to the next topic, the hard stops. Jay, would you like to take over? Yeah. Thank you, Joseph, for giving the time. Jay, would you like to take over the hard stops?
Yeah, sure. So,
yeah, okay. Thanks.
if you could just mute, so there's a lot of background noise. Shigini, do you think you could mute?
All right.
Cool. All right. So there are 3 hard stop types. I can't remember the third one, and someone wants to try to remember it.
It's in the full moon, right?
Yeah, I was opening up the full moon session earlier. I'll find it. Let's see, hard stop policy midweek, essential responsibilities. What was the third one? Budget. Yeah, it's budget. All right, so the third one was the team budget. Team budget. Okay, so the midweek check-in. Let's find the proposal here. Where is it?
Shall I copy and paste, Jay?
I'm just copying and pasting this part here.
Yeah.
So basically, there's a hard top for midweek check-in. It would start on November 15th. So it'd be Wednesday, November 15th. Eventually, it will shift to the 8th moons once we shift to the Selenium calendar. So I think that's pretty much it. I mean, does anyone? I guess the only other thing. What's this? I hope you guys feel better. A lot of people's getting sick. Oh, I know. It's so sad.
Yeah, because of weather change, I think.
I know. All right. Cool. So, oh my God, what happened to everything? What's going on? Oh my God. What? Oh my God, I don't think we need all of this. This is too much. Demasiado. Okay, so the midweek verification spreadsheet already exists. I know, but what happened to? what's going on here? So whenever you're doing a verification spreadsheet that is temporal, you always put the next month like on the left side. Otherwise, it just is like ridiculous, and you have to put way too much effort into it. So it goes on the left. Does everyone understand that? Hello?
Yes.
So could someone repeat what I just said so that I know you understand it?
Yes, Jay. Putting the next day on the left.
Yeah.
Inserting columns on the left. Yeah.
Yeah, always do it to the left. Otherwise, it's just like a huge hassle to try to get it done. So we have for this particular week, which is November 5th through 11th, it'll be November 8th. Right? So November 8th is the November 8th, right? Which is of the week for that week. Okay, so and none of this is necessary. We don't need to do this Wednesday, Saturday, whatever. It's just the midweek check-in. That's all it is. Happens once a week. And there's going to be two components of it. One is the half-time focus on assignment tasks, and the other is quarter client work. Okay, so I would just say, you know, one half-time assigned. So we'd say assigned tasks, yes or no. If there's any way to just shorten this up, one half time on assigned tasks and 1/4 time on client work. So this is required. This is ideal. So the only other thing here is we're going to take this and put this for November 8th, and this is going to be for previous week's work report. So midweek check-in and required deal. So does that make sense? You guys kind of understand? Or? So basically what we're going to do is this is going to be the November 8th midweek check-in. And on November 8th, they're going to check two things. One, you're going to check on the midweek check-in for the current. This would be the current week. And then this is for the previous week's work report. Does that make sense?
Yes, Jay.
Cool. Awesome. So I would go into my work report. I'll be like, okay, here's last week's work report. And I haven't done it yet, but once I have it done, it should be pretty clear. I also am working on our evaluation system. We've got our new evaluation system where you can do like weekly evaluations with your work reporting, or you can do daily or twice a week or monthly evaluations, but everyone's got to do some type of evaluation. And then I would go ahead and pop this in. So it has my total hours worked, my client work, my assigned work. So I can add that all up. So I can say total hours would be, you know, I don't know, 11, like 18, like 25 hours or something like that. Well, that's obviously it's only 3 days of the 5, of the 7 days. And then I have my client work is 3, 6, 7, 8 hours. And assigned work is 4, 12 hours. Right? So that would be 25 divided by 12 is equal to, oops, 12 divided by 25 is equal to 48%. And then client work 8 divided by 25 is equal to 32%. Okay? Then I can pop that in here. Previous week's work report, 48%, 32%. And then here we could say yes, yes, I'm good to go. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes, Jay. So,
Yes.
okay.
All right, so I think that we are looking good here. Why don't we move on to the next one? Any last questions about the midweek check-ins? We'll start. So this week is going to be like a trial week. Is there anyone who wants to volunteer to help make sure that it happens?
I can.
Who's that?
Me, Jay. Again.
Yeah, cool. So the way that you
Who else is
prevent
working? Who else is working on this?
anyone else?
Lucy
Lucy is also.
Lucy and Albina are working also on those.
Cool.
All right, so I know whatever you did. Thanks.
Yeah, and so basically, if like the way to prevent a hard stop is by simply doing the work. It's that simple. You just do the midweek check-in, and then there's no hard stop. If the midweek check-in doesn't happen, then there's a hard stop. Does everyone understand?
Okay. Yeah.
So if the midweek
Okay.
check-in doesn't happen, then that is assuming that nobody has met the requirements of 50% time on assigned tasks, right? Because the midweek check-in didn't happen, so it means that nobody did the assigned tasks, and therefore there's a hard stop, and nobody works for the rest of the week until they've been either directly approved by their boss or they are assigned to do a specific task because of the hard stop. Okay? So this is a really, really important task that must be done every week. Anybody can do it, but if it doesn't get done, that means everyone has to stop working. No one gets paid for the rest of the week until their direct boss has approved them or until the entire weekly midweek check-in happens. And it's not a lot of work. I mean, basically you're just going through and double checking to make sure people are doing their assigned and client work. That's it. So you could easily spend a couple minutes on each person and go through it, and you're done.
Okay.
But it just needs to happen so that we know who is and is not doing their work report correctly, and who is and who is not, actually doing the assigned and client work.
So tomorrow it will be.
Well, yeah. I mean, we have like 48 hours or so. Because remember, you guys are waking up into Wednesday, and so it really isn't until your Thursday that it needs to all be finalized by.
Yes.
Yeah. Coolio. Alrighty. Sweet. And don't worry about Mal. She's kind of a NA for now. And so anyone who's not active, it's like, Rhodes isn't really active. So it's like
Abigail also.
Abigail also is not active. I mean, you could actually take Abigail out of here entirely because she's literally not even in the budget. Cool. Awesome. All right. I think that's it on this. Any other last questions before we move on?
Guys, any more questions? None for me.
So let's go on to the next hard stop, which is recruitment. So recruitment, we gave 3 weeks that means it's 1.5 weeks to what's called a slow stop. And then, and that'll give a 1.5 weeks additional. So it's 3 weeks total, which would equal the hard stop. And the date for this is going to be the quarter, no, it's not the quarter moon, it's the 8th moon. 1.5 weeks, yeah. No, it's the quarter moon. Quarter moon. So we can look that up real quick. Moon phases for November. Oh boy, this is so weird. Okay, let's stand it. There we go. All right, so the new moon is November 18th. The quarter moon is November 26th at 17:03 UTC. Okay, so that is, oh my God, no, this is right. 17:06. There we go. So it's quarter moon, November 26th at 17:06 UTC, which is equal to 5:06 p.m. UTC. Okay.
Okay, Jay.
What is this task that someone put in here? Include in decisions, doc, proposal, hard stop, but midweek check-in if it doesn't happen. What's this? What is this? Is this anything applicable? Because I don't. If it's not applicable, we just delete it.
Include.
Yeah, let's just delete it. It doesn't make any sense. Okay. So now we're doing the recruitment hard stop. So what is it? What does it mean? So the hard stop is November 26th, right? The slow stop will happen a week and a half before, which would be so November 26th. So it would be like the 22nd. So the slow stop would be like around November 22nd. But the hard stop would be the specific time, so it's like a full 3 weeks notice. Basically, you know, there's no guarantee of work hours after that. Okay. And what needs to be done for the recruitment? So recruitment requirements is a 180-degree sextant. Basically senior manager shifts filled with level 3 people or above, level 3 plus people.
Jay,
Yeah?
180 is also AustrAsia, right?
No. AustrAsia is
Austrasia's
120.
Yeah.
AustrAsia is the 120-degree sextant. The 180-degree sextant is sonic. So Phoenix is 120-degree sonic is 180-degree.
Okay.
So that's the 180-degree sextant, and then the other is the 120-degree west sextant, and specifically local SF Bay Area recruitment. And then also there's some 60-degree west Americas recruitment. This is like almost done. Okay. So basically we have 3 weeks to recruit the people. We've been doing it for 8 months and it hasn't happened because people just don't care. So 3 weeks, in 3 weeks, if the recruitment's not done, only essential assigned work can be done. It'll be full hard stop. Right? And the money's not a problem. We have like, you know, $5,000 to $10,000, like at least $5,000 to $8,000, you know, available for this. That make sense? Like money is not a problem. So if we need to hire someone for $3,000 a month in the FFA, or for $2,000 a month in Hawaii, or whatever it's going to cost, we need to do it, and we have 3 weeks to do it. And if it doesn't happen, then nobody can work anymore. You understand? Unless it's like an essential, required task that a responsibility that needs to get done for our client or for our functioning. Does that make sense?
Yes, Jay.
Yeah, so let's just get it done. Let's just do the recruitment. We've been waiting for 8 months. It's not getting done. Let's do it. It's really that simple. Any other questions on the recruitment hard stop? And let's copy and paste the proposal just so it's documented and clear. So this is the recruitment hard stop. Proposal, allow hard stops, and then specifically the hard stop for, yeah. Oh, it says new moon hard stop. That's confusing. New moon hard stop. I know it's the week after. That was for 2 weeks. So it's actually quarter moon. Anyway, so let's just copy and paste the proposal. All right. Any last questions before we go on to the last hard stop?
Yes, Jay, just a question.
Yeah.
So does that mean that we will only recruit for those sextants? We cannot recruit at the same time the Central Asia or AustrAsia. We will focus on this.
You guys can recruit for whatever you want to, as long as it's within the budgets. Every sextant has their own recruitment budget. You know, this is just saying that, and you guys can go spend all your time recruiting for your local, you know, place if you want to, as long as you're willing and ready that within 3 weeks you'll be asked not to work anymore if you're going to just focus on your own sextant. Does that make sense?
Yes, so we just focus on this for now.
If you want to, but you're also welcome to work on the recruitment budget for your own local, you know, region of the world. That's perfectly fine. But again, it's just not a priority.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So if you can do both simultaneously, that's fine. You know, I mean, the thing about recruitment is it doesn't just magically happen. You don't just like push a button and then an hour later you have everyone hired. I mean, technically speaking, you could do that, but you'd have to get really lucky. You know, but typically it's a multi-day process where you post one day, you respond to the emails, get people to fill out the form the second day, and then you hire people on the third day. So it typically would take at least 3 days to do the outreach, get the people to fill out the forms, and then create the budget and then hire them. So usually it would take 3 days to do that. So in that time, you know, you put an hour into the posting the first day, and then you could spend the rest of the day working on your local recruitment. Does that make sense? Like you could easily do both.
Yes.
There's plenty of time to do both, but to not do the priority recruitment is no longer acceptable unless people don't want to be working and do not want to make money. Does that make sense?
Yes, Jay.
Cool.
Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Asif.
Yeah, hi Jay, how are you?
All right.
Sorry. Okay, Jay, I just want to check out as I'm not feeling well. Okay, I'm feeling very sorry to leave you people over here. I'm having a chest congestion and I'm sorry to leave you out. So check from my side.
Great. Okay, thanks. Let's see if we wish you the best and to take care of yourself. All right, taking care of ourselves is always the top priority. Yes, although taking care of ourselves also means taking care of our team. So if we're not recruiting, we're not taking care of the team because we can't do all of the work. And we can't take care of ourselves if we don't do all the work, and we can't get paid if we don't do all the work for the client. Right?
Right.
Cool.
Thank you, guys. You have a nice session ahead. Thank you.
Yeah, take care. Thanks so much, Asif. Lots of love. And you know, take as much time as you need to take care of yourself. I mean, again, the priority is always when people are involved in the African Community Network is we want people to be at 100%. That's always our goal, you know? So it's like if you need time to take care of yourself, that is the priority. So that when you come and you work, you're at 100%.
One last thing. I want the excuse for this week, if you allow me, because I'm really having a very bad time in my chest. I don't know what happened. So, is it possible?
Yeah, it's like whatever you need, man. It's like your schedule. We don't define your schedule. So if you need to take off the rest of the week, that's fine. You know, like it's technically unpaid unless you get a proposal for sick leave or get an advance or whatever, which you can do if you need the money. But otherwise, don't worry about it. Just take the time off. You know, just like whatever you need. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I think I'll leave unpaid for the next week.
Yeah.
And thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Asif.
Blessed. Bye.
Thank you, Asif. God heals you.
Yeah, take care. And we could put on our work on our next steps. We could talk about sick leave policies. Right now we don't have one. Like generally speaking, we just do advanced pay if people need advanced pay, and then they just work it off. You know, we could. You know, yeah. I mean, I think that's the easiest way to do it. You know, it's like you have your back pay, you got your advanced pay. You know, and it's just you work it off. It's fine. We'll pay people for sick leave. So let's say if Asif had accumulated a bunch of back pay and he wanted to use that back pay so that he could take a week off so that he could get better and he was sick, then that's perfectly fine. All right, but it would need to be a proposal and we need to approve it. So are there any last questions on the recruitment hard stop? I think
no
we're good
question
on that, right?
from me.
Okay, so then the team budgets. What we need to do here is, there's a responsibility here, and it's basically called something like team budget verification spreadsheet, right? And this would be like a monthly team budget verification spreadsheet. Update monthly. So obviously the first thing would be to create a new spreadsheet. On the left column would be equal to the name of each team, and this is for each sextant and duodecant active ones. You don't have to worry about if they're inactive. Active. And then on the top column, it would be equal to a couple different things. One, you know, is there a budget, an updated budget doc? Is there an updated budget for the new month? Is there a balanced budget? Is the budget balanced? Does the budget include, you know, team pay, and other items like senior sextant, updated recruitment budget. So these could be other parts. Does the budget include senior sextants? Does the budget include updated recruitment budget? You know, advances, etc., etc., etc. So does that make sense? Does someone do that? And then basically, like, this needs to be done, you know, for the next budget cycle, which I think is Saturday. So currently it's Saturday. And I have a proposal to switch to Selene calendar, which could give us an additional week. Okay, does that make sense? Hello?
Yes, Dave.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense.
And does everyone understand that if you don't do your team budget, then your team is automatically cut out of the budget, and tell your team, and then you have a full hard stop on your entire team until you guys get your budget done. Does that make sense? Does everyone understand what that means?
So we need
What?
So it means that we need cooperation for each of us.
I didn't understand. Say again, Benji.
So we need cooperation for both of the team member.
Yeah, you have to work together as a team. Yes, exactly.
Yes.
And not only do you have to work together as a team, all the teams collectively across the world need to work together, right? So we have $9,000. Let's quickly look at the budget. So if I go in here and I hit up our budget doc, all right, so here's our budget doc. There was one budget missing here. Was it the Andromeda? No, Andromeda budgets. Oh, yeah, it's just not linked. Excuse me. So someone needs to link the Andromeda budget. AustrAsia budget, team budget's in there. It's good. Okay, so here's our budget for the next month. So copy and paste that in real quick. And if you look at this, what you see is if you go to the team budgets, so come over here, all the way across to the team budget breakdown. And what you see is that you have, this is the starting amounts for each team. Okay?
Yes, Jay.
And then here, you can transfer money to other teams. So for example, the Andromeda team starts with $0, but the Atlantic team and the Cobalt team is transferring $750 each to the Andromeda team, so the Andromeda team has some money, right? They could take that money back if they wanted to. They could say, you know what, the Cobalt team doesn't want to transfer the money to the Atlantic team, and we're gonna keep the money for ourselves. Or they could decide, you know what, instead of $750, we want to transfer $1,000, right? And give even more money to the Andromeda team. Does that make sense?
Yes, Jay.
So you look under team control, we have $9,100 across the world, but it's in a different amounts in each team. There's more than enough money to pay everybody that needs to be paid, right? But in each individual team, there's not necessarily enough money, right? So the extra money, or if a team needs more money to meet their budget to get it balanced, they need to request from other teams that other teams transfer the money, right? So for example, if the Sonic team doesn't make a team budget and doesn't transfer any money to any other team, then this money cannot be used by any other team. That's $1,500 that basically will not be used. That make sense? So it's in the best interest of the entire global team for every single team to be functional and to have a functional budget, because they can transfer money to other teams so that we can all share the money collectively so that we can make a functional, balanced budget across the world, right? If one team doesn't do a budget and locks up all their money and other people can't get at that money, then it possibly could mean that other budgets won't be balanced, and then it just creates a domino effect of problems. Does that make sense?
Yes, Jay.
So we just need to figure out how to balance the budget and how to balance all the money throughout the world, and we'll figure it out, and then everyone will get paid, right? But it does take a little effort. It's not supposed to be easy. Cool. All right.
Jay, I have a question.
Yeah.
What if there will be newbies or trainees? Is the $9,100 budget will be increased so that it will be feed to new members.
So your question's about new members?
Yes. If
Okay,
there are
well,
newbies, then
for new people that go into the recruitment budget, you can use the recruitment budget up to 2 to 3 months. We have a $10,000 recruitment budget for new people. So they don't have to count if they don't fit into your team budget. We still can pay them for as much as like 2 to 3 months with our $10,000 recruitment budget.
okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So new people don't directly count against the budget. Obviously, you want to try to fit them in and make them part of the team directly. But if they don't fit into the team budget, then they can fit into the recruitment budget. But that's only for new people. And that's temporary. Cool. All right. So anyways, hopefully you guys understand the 3 hard stops. Again, there's 3 of them. They are the budget hard stop, the recruitment hard stop, and then the midweek check-in hard stop. So I think that's it for me. And also just to remind people, the budget hard stop also applies to buddy teams already. If you don't create a buddy team budget and get it approved, propose it to your super team, then you're automatically cut from the budget. That's a requirement in the organization. You have to have a main buddy team or a provisional buddy team. It needs to be approved and it needs to be brought into the budget. That's a requirement. You can't create a main buddy team, then you're automatically cut from the budget. You get a few months for new recruits, get a few months to set up their main buddy team, but it is a requirement. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. All right. Oh, and this is other stuff here. So who's the facilitator? I'm done with that section.
Yeah, it's the time is over for that. Now we'll move to.
Yeah, and whoever's timekeeper, you should do your best to actually do time during the session instead of afterwards. But it's good to bring it up.
Thanks, Jay. No more questions, guys? If there's... Okay, if there are no more questions, we will move to the next topic. Okay, thanks. So moving on.
Is anyone going to sign up and volunteer to do the monthly budget verification spreadsheet?
Anyway, gusto ko lang sana kasi mangyari. Kasi pinupuntahan ito.
Can you
guys, anyone?
Can you mute for a second, Shigimi?
Sorry?
Can you mute for a second? It's like really loud in the background noise.
It's okay. Okay.
Just mute for just 1 second. Okay, cool. So I just wanted to say one more thing, that if someone could sign up and volunteer to take on this responsibility, if the verification of all of the team budgets across the world is not done, then we will assume that none of the team budgets are done, and then it'll be full hard stop, and then no one gets paid. Does that make sense?
Okay, I already made the spreadsheet.
Great. Okay, but someone needs to actually do it. Like I'm assuming when you say you made it and that the spreadsheet's done, yes. I'm assuming that's a complete lie and the spreadsheet has not been done and you haven't done it. All right, but let's take a look. Okay, well, you're getting close. You're like 25% done. So you got yes, it started. Yes. This is looking good. It's great. Excellent, excellent. Usually people make spreadsheets and they're literally blank. But so you got a good start. This is excellent. So good work. So you just need to add all the rest of the team names. And it's AustrAsia. I know it takes a little while, but now it's Phoenix, the Phoenix team. I don't know how to spell Phoenix. I know. Phoenix. But I want to encourage you guys to, I know you didn't say that it was done, but generally speaking, let's try to stay out of saying things are done, because they're not done unless they're fully verified and double and triple and quadruple checked and actually signed off. That's when it's done. Okay?
Yes. Yes.
Coolio. Awesome. All right, and so this is Joyce, right?
Yes.
Great. Coolio. All right.
I can also work with Joyce on that.
Yes, she can.
Awesome.
Yeah, she can.
And again, these things are not that hard. It's just like a matter of getting it done, you know. And then we can see exactly which teams have their budgets completed and which teams don't, and where everything lies across the world.
Eileen also want to sign up on here.
Great.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Check. Okay, back to you, Shagini.
Okay, thanks, Jay. Okay, so now we move on to the next topic, which is the civilian calendar.
Okay.
Guys, who would want to take over?
Yeah, this should go really fast. I want to mention that I did add to the next steps the team equity. The team equity spreadsheets and daily spreadsheets. We got to do that. Forgot that, and we should probably add that in. But anyways, the quick link on the selling calendar. The responsibility here is to switch, support selling calendar. Support to switch from Gregorian calendar. The proposal is to switch from the Gregorian calendar to the Selene calendar on I believe it would be either the 18th or the 25th. The 18th would be ideal, which would give us a whole extra week, because that would be the beginning of the month. So 18th would be ideal, but we could potentially do the 25th. What happens is that once you get to the next month, December, the full moon is on a Sunday. That potentially could work, right? But then from here, it goes on to Mondays, and then it's going to be 4 months before we can do it again. So the last possible date we could do it is the 10th. But then, because it has to be either a Saturday or Sunday that you actually do the transfer so that it syncs with the Gregorian calendar. So basically, the proposal is the calendar on the new moon, which is November. This is December 10th. So this is the 18th. So that'll be November 18th. And this would be ideal. The great thing about this is it gives us an extra week to approve the budget. The next one would be the quarter moon on November 25th. That's 26th. I think it's actually 26th, right? Yeah, 26th. And then there's December 10th. Also quarter moon. The full moon was some third. All right, so So this is, there's probably about 10 steps to doing this successfully. So I'm not going to go over it in detail. I'd go over it in more detail with whatever individual wants to actually work on it. But I'll just give a quick overview. I mean, basically, we need to update the Selenium calendar, finalize the dates and times for the next 2 to 3 months. And that'll be a new ongoing responsibility. And then from there, and this is a responsibility as well, as to update the daily times and dates for the Selenium calendar. That's another. And that's the main thing that has to happen, is that we just need to have clarity on each date of each day, the Selenium calendar. And what's great about the Selenium calendar is that there's a single day for the entire world, right? So it's a global calendar. It's all based on the lunar and solar calendar, and every single day has the same single day. We'll need to train everyone on translating from Gregorian to Selenium dates. That's pretty easy. But every single Gregorian date will have a Selenium equivalent, and vice versa. Once every 2.5 months, I think it's every 2.5 months, there will be one Selenium day that has 2 Gregorian dates. But other than that, there will be a 1-to-1 ratio. I think that's pretty much it. Are there any questions on the Selenium calendar? Like there's lots of other details I could go in, but we can prioritize that. I guess just to say why it's so important is that it will affect everything for the organization, like our goals, and in organization, the global organizing. Global organizing is all already based on the lunar cycle, including our new moon and full moon sessions. So this will change it so that our payroll, our weekly check-ins, our finances and accounting, et cetera. Everything will happen. All of our value tracking, our notes and dates and organizing will all happen on Selenium calendar instead of Gregorian.
Andre, I have a question.
The next time that we could do this switch will be in 4 months, right? And we can see exactly. So if you see here, December, it either has to be on a Sunday or a Saturday. And so then you have the 18th, right, is when it's no longer in sync with the Gregorian calendar. So then the next time that we would be able to do it is maybe like 20 more minutes, 15 more minutes. Okay, I'll come as soon as I can. All right, I gotta get going. This will be like the last topic for me. But let's just see when the next time that we'll be able to do.
Hello, guys.
It'll be March. Yeah, so March 17th will be the next time that we can sync March 17th, 2018. Okay? Does that make sense? That if we don't do it now, the next time that we can do the switches in 4 months, it's March 17th, 2018.
Okay.
So our options, so there's 5 options. Option number 1 is the new moon. Option number 2, the quarter moon. Option number 3 is the full moon. Option number 4 is the quarter moon. And option number 5 is to wait until March 17th.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So we must do it as soon as possible.
If we want to do it, right? I mean, obviously, it's going to be a lot of work, and the whole transition is. I mean, we'll have to learn a new calendar system very quickly, but at the same time, waiting for, like, I wish we did it 4 months ago, but we just never did it. So once we do it, it won't be that bad, and actually, it'll make our whole global organizing way easier. Like, everything will be so much simpler because the Gregorian calendar causes lots and lots of problems. So, for example, I say today is Tuesday, November 7th. But for you, it's not Tuesday, November 7th. So that messes up all of our documentations. Everything when you write a date is different than when I write a date. So it's like we're all functioning on different days and different times all across the world. And this will fix that. It'll make it so we're all functioning on a single day at the same time all across the world, and it will never change. So it's always every single day across the world, and every single date is a single date across the entire planet. So it makes global organizing like way easier. So
we'll go for that.
Yeah, so it's definitely beneficial. I would prefer to switch, but it is going to take some work, and I need to train people on how to update the daily times and dates for the Selenium calendar. But it's not that hard, you know, and this would probably take 1 to 2 hours.
Okay, Jay, when will that be, Jay, the training? Ever?
Any time. It's a top priority. So if we vote this proposal and we decide to do it, then this would be a top priority that we would want to do whenever we can do it. You know, I would even do it in the middle of the night if we need to, right? It's just we just got to get done.
So can we vote now, or you will go somewhere?
Yeah, we can vote now, but obviously we're going to review this at the quarter moon session on Friday or Thursday.
Okay, quarter moon.
But we can vote on it now if we want to, but we don't have to.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think this Friday is the quarter moon. And then this would be for the new moon, November 18th would be the soonest that we could do it. And this is obviously the ideal because it syncs with the new moon, which will be the beginning of the month. So in this, it gives us an extra week to approve the budget. And then the new moon would be the beginning of the next month. And then the new moon will be the new moon will be the beginning of every single month forever. Does that make sense? Okay. So our budgets will then be due instead of the second Saturday of the month. They'll be due on the new moon, right? So every new moon will be the day that the budget is due, and that will also be the day we create our monthly goals. So it'll all sync up. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, just to remind whoever's the timekeeper, it's like, 2 minutes left, 1 minute left, time's up, 1 minute over, 2 minutes over, 5 minutes over. It's like, boom, 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 boom. Timekeeping should be constant. All right, so I think I got to get going. It's been a pleasure. Are there any last questions about the Selenium calendar?
No more questions from me, Jay, but I want to get into training about this one. I'm interested to work on this one.
Yeah, I've been working on the Selenium calendar for about 3 years now. And and I've worked on 4 additional global calendars before that. But the Selenium calendar is by far the best time system that I've ever created, and it's the most scientifically verifiable time system in existence. There's nothing else that compares to Selenium calendar. It's amazing. So I'm really excited about it. I would definitely vote to switch to the Selenium calendar as soon as possible, but people do have to step up and actually do it. And who said they were interested in this?
Me also, Jay.
Shigemi. Awesome. All right, sounds good. I'm gonna take off. Are there any last questions for me? And I just added here that it's just really important that we prioritize. Someone needs to remember this too: team equity and daily spreadsheets, right? And this will be a responsibility. It's also like really important. So someone needs to prioritize this because we keep forgetting it and we never get to it. And it's been like 8 months now. It's like, oh my God. Okay.
All right.
Okay, Jay, thank you. Can you please check out if we are going?
Yeah, I think we did really good. Obviously, the goal is to get to the team goals and priorities for your week. But if you don't get to that, you can just review your previous week's priorities and goals, and that's fine. You can continue them. Obviously, the overall for the global network, the top priority is the nonprofit taxes. So make sure that Zilu, Abdul, whoever else is working on that, has the support they need. And other than that, I think we're good. So thank you guys all so much. I'm glad I had the chance to check in with you guys. And don't worry too much about the new session policies. We do need to create a new verification spreadsheet. So if someone wants to create a new verification session spreadsheet, you can do that and just use the copy of the existing sessions verification spreadsheet. So this is the sessions responsibility verification spreadsheet, and then we're going to use that to create for the buddy team responsibility verification spreadsheet for buddy team sessions. Okay. So this is something that someone could do, and you can see that right here. The sessions verification spreadsheet is for every single session. And we're going to start verifying the responsibilities that are supposed to get done every single buddy team from now on. So we want to duplicate this, make a copy of this one. And some of the things that are supposed to be getting done is like evals, logging the work reporting, and evals. That's all the same thing. And then there's like recording notes, getting work done, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like, so all the things that are supposed to get done during a buddy team session. Okay? Document, log. Cool. I'm sure I'm missing some things. All right, that's it for me. Any last questions before I go?
No more questions. Yeah.
Okay, good work, guys. You guys are doing really well. I have a feeling that we'll have the Phoenix team all organized and all the senior section managers all set up for the whole week. So you guys are doing really well, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Okay. Oh, and the other next step that's super duper important, especially for the quarter moon session, is where is it? Here we go. Is the co-chairs. Co-chairs, super duper important. So try not to let me forget this. I can't stress how important it is.
Co-chairs.
Yeah. So all the co-chairs and co-chair processes, co-chair processes. It's all set up. We just got to do it. And the co-chairs are very important because they coordinate the whole global steering team and make sure everything runs smoothly, so that everything's planned and organized, just like the midweek check-in for all the sextant senior managers. The co-chairs check in for the global team. Okay, so I will talk to you guys later. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Jay, for your time.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, guys, we are